Alright everybody, hello and welcome as always. I am Sean. This is In The Mixer as we continue our Football Manager series in Football Manager 2019. Did I just say Football Manager series in Football Manager 2019? Hashtag United series in Football Manager 2019. I don't know what's going on with me lately, but I'm butchering these introductions. So we are a little bit further on than that last episode. Of course, in the previous episode, if you haven't seen it, go back and watch it now. Started off our league campaign with a 2-0 victory over Walton and Hersham and a 3-0 win over VCD Athletic. It may have been a little bit of a false dawn because we were then brought back down to earth by East Grinstead Town. A 2-1 defeat. Absolutely phenomenal goal from Alexander Warner in the first minute. We pulled one back through Ryan Adams to make it 1-1. We weren't playing horribly, we weren't thoroughly beaten in this game, but the quality of the two strikes from Warner were absolutely fantastic. And I think they just probably shaded and deserved their win in that game. We responded with a 3-0 win in the Emirates FA Cup preliminary round against Ware. Tasha and Richmond, Lee Hersett and Ricky Evans getting amongst the goals there. We then had a 0-0 draw with Hartley Whitney. We just couldn't find a way through. Our defence played pretty well, our midfield played alright, but it was our forward line. We just couldn't convert the chances we created, and that became a pretty boring draw in the end. And then a 2-1 defeat to Wimborne Town. I thought we had this game in hand, so I rotated a little bit. Theo Baker came in, Ryan Adams came in, Jamal Akeem and Kane Brogan played. We initially took the lead through Ryan Adams, and then they scored 2 goals in the 40th minute and 66th minute. We never really responded. We never really got back into the game. The subs we brought on, Ricky Evans, Charlie Morley, Tasha and Richmond, all struggled to impact the game in any way, and we just couldn't get beyond them. So we are unfortunately out of the FA Cup, and we're on a little bit of a downward slant. I think for the first time, we've only won one of our previous 4 matches. So I'm keen to get a victory today against Waltham Abbey, and I'm keen to take some sort of momentum into the game against Hythe Town. As we know, they were favourites to get promoted and win this division at the start of the season. They've got some great players. They're currently sitting in second spot, but it's super early in the season. It's super tight, and if we get a good result against them, it'll be massive for us moving forward. As is tradition, we are going to offer Matt Carter the 4-week trial period. We're going to do that pretty much at the start of every episode until we can get him to sign. We are still well and truly over our wage budget. I can't ask Spencer for an extension of that for another month, so we'll do that in the next episode. What else has happened? Theo Baker has been offered a new part-time contract, which is £50 a week. Aaron Couch has had a couple of offers come in, as has Ryan Adams. So we'll offer them part-time contracts once bids come in as well. Try and get everyone to part-time deals. I know it's going to absolutely destroy us financially, but I just want to make sure everyone's locked in. And then if someone wants to get bought by another team, they can pay us a fee to get them, and we make our money back that way. Looking at the 2 lineups here, they've got Morris in goal, Doran their captain at left back, Pedjaloo at right back, Jones and Rhodes as the 2 central defenders, Hanley and Stewart Lank in midfield with Barnett at the 10, Rawlings, who looks like, I'm not sure what kit that is. It might be Gloucester or it might be Venlo in Holland. Who knows? Jacobs on the right. Corcoran making his debut up top. We're going to go with Cooper in goal, making his debut for the season. Humphrey at left back. Zingano at right full back. Stamp and Akeem as central defensive partnership. I brought Akeem back in and pushed Zingano wide because I just want to get us back to some sort of stability, and rather than having our potential players out there in George and Pollock, I thought we'll bring in Akeem. We'll also bring in Ricky Evans. We'll go with some older heads, some experience to get us 6 points hopefully in these episodes. Oh well, one's a cup competition, so no points for that one, but 2 wins in this episode, and then we can kind of start to integrate our potential players again further down the season. Ricky Evans will partner Hersett at the base. Shashua will play at the 10. He's been our outstanding performer so far this season. Harry Honesty on the left wing, Charlie Morley on the right, Tasha and Richmond up top. And it's a massive couple of games for Tasha and Richmond, to be completely honest. Hasn't really found his goal-scoring boots yet, and I think it's our lack of ability to score at the moment that's hurting us more so than our defensive play. First 2 seasons, we had no dramas whatsoever, outscoring the teams in our division, but the goals have dried up a little bit, and as such, we haven't had it as easy in terms of accruing points and that sort of stuff. Super straightforward team talk. We're going to go straight into kick-off now, and hopefully we have enough about us to get beyond Waltham Abbey here, because we could use the extra revenue from cup competitions, and we've done all right in League Cup structures similar to the Alan Turvey Trophy, so hopefully if we can get a decent run of performances here, we can get some extra money into the coffers, and hopefully Spencer will let me increase the wage budget just a little bit so that we aren't in deficit anymore. Right, first highlight here from Pedjaloo. It's a short one towards Jacobs. Strike from distance. What a goal that is. Reece Jacobs, his first goal of the season. I'm not even that upset about it. That is an absolute thumping strike. It's going to look good in 3 dimensions. Just a little layoff here. We probably could have come out to the ball a little bit quicker, but we close him down all right, and that is top bins. Hard to be mad at anyone from that. What a strike. Oh, not great though. We should use a shout and we should demand more because it just consistently works. Their first shot on target, and it happens to be that absolute wonder goal. It's so good, it's broken my ability to articulate in any sort of way. Pedjalou again. We've got to close him down if he goes short. Holy shit, Pedjalou with his first goal of the season. These guys we cannot let strike from 30 yards. That is a decent strike. I don't think Murphy has done particularly well with this one. It's not bad. It's gone through the wall as well. And Murphy dove from the weirdest spot. If he had just taken a step to his right, he could have caught it. We are 2-0 down. This is horrendous. This is not what I wanted to see. Alright, I've used that get creative shout because if we can pull one back before half time, we're in good stead, and everyone's responded pretty positively to that. We are in the last 5 minutes though, and we're yet to see a highlight in our favour thus far. Highlight again, Jacobs to take the corner. It's a deep one towards Barnett, and he heads forward. We are getting thoroughly dominated by Waltham in this game. They're playing in the Division 1 Central. Oh no, South Central. We're in South East. So I wonder if that is, even though it's at the same tier, a higher quality division than we're currently playing in. But to be honest, the only difference so far is those 2 wonder strikes that we've seen. Both from set pieces. They haven't done much from open play just yet. And at least it puts us in good stead. Like we can go in and fire a bit of a rocket, get the hairdryer out of the pocket at half time, see if that has any sort of response. There's some absolutely shocking match ratings here. Evans and Humphrey not playing particularly well at all. Let's go into the dressing room. And aggressively, you're much better than this, but you're not playing like it. Stop letting yourselves down and sort it out. Everyone's responded pretty positively to that. We'll give it another 15 minutes and then we'll see where we're at in terms of subs or whatever. But I think when you're in situations like this, if there's not an immediate response in the second half, then you're going to be in trouble just a little bit. Another corner here, Jacobs to take. It's a deep one towards Rhodes. He was wide open again. We have 5 men in there. I'm not sure why nobody was marking him, but thankfully he heads over. Alright, I don't want to waste too much time, so we're going to make all 3 of our subs now. So Jamel Akeem will come off, Ryan George will come on at fullback, and Singano will move into the middle. Pollock will come on for Evans, and Adams will come on for Charlie Morley. None of those players have had a particularly good game. There's still a couple of players left out there that aren't playing particularly well either, but we just don't have enough subs in the game. It's another free kick there. I'm hoping it's just because we're doing subs and not an actual highlight. And it has disappeared now, thankfully. And I think once these subs actually go through, we will also use a shout, and we might get a bit more aggressive and use the show some passion shout if it actually wants to appear for me. Here we go. Show some passion, and hopefully that'll fire everyone up just a little bit. The subs were all pretty motivated when they came on, but some pretty average looking performances across the park here. Everyone's responded well to the show some passion shout, the exceptions being the subs that have just come on. So let's see if that changes anything. We see any highlights. The stat line's pretty even. 8 shots, 5 on target, 51% of the ball. They've had 9 shots, 4 on target, and 49% possession. But it looks like they've just taken their chances, whereas we haven't. And like, to be fair, the chances they've had were absolutely half chances. 2 free kicks leading to goals. Here we go. Long ball forward from Morris. Shashua does very well to win a header. Tashi and Richmond comes forward now. He's got men outside in Ryan Adams. Can he find the right cross? Gets a ball in now towards Harry Honesty. We've pulled one back. His 5th goal of the season. A wonderful assist by Harry Honesty. A wonderful assist by Ryan Adams, but a wonderful goal by Harry Honesty. I had to get comfortable there in the chair. Otherwise, it was going to be a very tense last 20 minutes or so. Great impact from Ryan Adams. I'm going to give him a start in the next game. And Honesty, he has been an absolute star for us so far in this season, leading the league, leading the team in both goals and match rating. He's been fantastic the previous 2 seasons as well. If he can carry on that form this year, we're going to be okay. But come on, boys. What else have we got in our locker? Use a shout. Let's try demand more, because that's pretty much old reliable as far as shouts are concerned. And we'll see if that can be enough to give them one last little kick up the backside to try and find an equaliser. Don't want to look ahead too far. I don't know what happens if we actually do get an equaliser and it finishes as a draw. It'll either go to extra time or there'll be a replay. I'm not sure which. And I think I've just given myself nervous hiccups as well. Right, there's a highlight here, 86th minute. Long ball forward towards Jacobs to Barnett. Out to Jacobs again. It's one back well by Tom Humphrey. Shashua now with the ball. Played to Harry Honesty. Back inside to Shashua, who can turn. His men closing him down now. Good square ball to Scott Pollock. Can we find the finish? It's a decent strike, but Morris gets his body behind the ball and holds well. Is there anything else we can do? Have we got any space for any more shouts? Get creative. We'll try that one more time. It's probably going to upset the defence, but hopefully it'll work with some of the forward players. No one's really responded. Oh, hang on, a couple have. Humphrey, Adams, Shashua and Richmond have all responded positively. Scott Pollock hasn't responded well. Come on, lads. A couple more minutes. Just need to find an equaliser here. Pedjaloo with a free kick again. They've been deadly from these situations, and thankfully that one's just over the top of the bar. I gotta have to check what Pedjaloo's free kicks are at the end of this episode, and what Jacobs' long shots are, because they've both scored 2 worldies. 3 minutes to be added on. Is there going to be any late drama here? I'm reluctant to change our tactic in any way, because I don't think it'll do anything. But we're getting pretty quickly before the 3 minutes that's been added on by the referee. I don't think we're going to see any further highlight, but what it'll do what it always does. It'll add that little highlight there to trick me and think maybe something will happen. And the referee's called full time. Alright, so not the greatest result ever, but Fabian Pedjaloo, what a strike he was consistently from free kicks, causing us issues. He's only got 9 free kick taking, so I'm not sure why I think we have better free kick takers than that. We never have strikes like that. Reece Jacobs with that absolute thunderbastard to get the scoring underway. And what are his long shots? 5. Of course they are. Ridiculous. So I know I should be really upset about that, but Jesus, as far as conceding 2 goals, they were 2 absolute worldies. The second one, maybe the keeper could have done better. Maybe I'll bring Andy Cade-Watts back in for Murphy Cooper in the next match, and we'll see how we go from there. Calmly, unlucky boys, it would have been nice to win, but it wasn't to be. I just need to boost morale a little bit. We've had some rough games in the last few times out, and that's another defeat to add to the list for this season. There will be no invincibles this year. So Waltham Abbey stun, #United. It was relatively even from the stat columns here. Reece Jacobs, of course, getting man of the match. Cooper made his professional debut, which is decent for him, but I think we'll go with a bit more experience in Andy Cade-Watts in the next match, given that we are playing pretty improved opposition. I don't want to dwell on it too much. I want to switch our focus to the Hythe Town game, but magic of editing, you guys won't have to watch that one. We'll jump ahead now. Right, so just like that, we are a couple of days ahead. There wasn't much throughout the course of the week. Matt Carter didn't want to join. Aaron Couch signed a new contract. We offered a part-time contract as well to Ryan Adams, which would mean everybody would be on part-time contracts if he signs that one. We had the draw for our game in the FA Trophy. We're playing Chipstead, who are a South Central team, who we've struggled against at this point. But here we are against Hythe. Let's go through their lineup. They got White in goal, Akito at left back, Colbrand at right back. Akito was one of the players in that Dream 11 for the media team at the start of the season. Kelly and Boyling as their central defensive partnership. Boyling was in that side as well. Freeman, Ladera and Troke as their midfield 3. Ladera as their captain. It looks like Troke played for somebody that wears black and white stripes. Not sure who. Goss, Webster and Answer are playing as a 3 up top. That was a massively overpowered formation in Football Manager 2018. We'll see if it's the same for 2019. And Answer in particular is leading the league at the moment in assists and average rating. He's been an absolute star for them. So we'll see if this formation and shape is going to give us any problems, given that they're always going to have 3 up top. And sometimes if our fullbacks push on to support, we're left with the 3v2 there, which is going to be tricky, but I've gone with a defensive structure with Jamal Akeem, Faros Ngannou and Ricky Evans all in the side, so I'm hopeful defensively. And Andy Cade-Watts has come back in for Murphy as well. I'm hopeful defensively that we are ready to go and can get on top of them early. We did speak about it in the previous game. We haven't really had a scoring forward at any point so far this season. I think both Daniel Adji and Tashin Richmond both have 1 goal so far this season each. We really need him to get his Tashin Richmond in particular, to get his shooting boots back on, because when he was on form last season, we destroyed the competition. If he can take that sort of form into this season as well, I think we can start picking up some wins and getting up the table again pretty quickly. We've got less cup competitions now to focus on, so that's a positive. Oh, it's a decent ball forward there. Freeman now with the counter-attack. This is the concern. They've got a 3v1 somehow on halfway. Goss with a strike, and it's a great save from Andy Cade-Watts. Not sure why Jamal Akeem was taking that throw in there on the right-hand side. He never should have been. Freeman now with the corner. It's deep one across. Hursett with a good header away. Morley out to Honesty, and the referee, the highlight then finishes. So even though we are currently sitting in 7th as well, a win here could push us as high as 2nd, 3rd as things currently stand, with Whiteleaf and Guernsey both also playing today. And I think a defeat could see us drop down as low as 10th or 11th. So yeah, still super tight, early days of the season, but we do have a game in hand, or 2 games on hand in a couple of teams playing in the division already. Right, here we go. I've got a highlight here. Akeem with the crossfield switch towards Hurst at the top of the box. Gets a ball out to Humphrey now. Can he get a decent delivery in the box? Goes back to Hurst instead. Finds Humphrey again. We're getting forced back here. Hurst inside to Ricky Evans. To Hurst. There's a crossfield switch on if he can find it. Evans now plays Singano on the right hand side. We've got a 2v1 out here if he can get a decent ball in, but it's closed down pretty well by the Hyde defence, and we'll have a corner. Should be Charlie Morley to take. No, that's the end of the highlight. I'm not sure why we saw any of that. Oh no, here is the highlight. No, it's gone. Interesting. Football Manager is slowly breaking. Evans now with a free kick from distance. How we could use a special from him. It's a good save from White. Morley to take the corner now. Towards back stick. Tashan Richmond was there. It's a ball back in towards Evans. It's hit the deck. It was a good close down from the defence there for Hyde Town. But this has been better. We've seen some actual highlights for ourselves, which we haven't really had early doors in the last few games. Cade Watts now to take a free kick. It's a long one, not towards anyone in particular, but Aikido will claim with ease. Webster's gotten in behind with a straight ball forward, and thankfully he screws the shot just wide. So they're playing very direct, and that 3 up top is super effective if they get released early. Results elsewhere have seen us drop down to 8th position, but if we can get a goal to go ahead here, we should jump up into 3rd spot, overtaking Hythe in the process. They've had some poor feedback from their shouts used from their coach, so I think that's probably a good trigger for us to say demand more. Just old reliable, demand more. It always works. Everyone seems to be relatively focused after that. We've got an immediate highlight, which is great. Akeem plays forward to Morley, to Shashua. Long crossfield switch towards Harry Honesty. Can he find the front square ball or the finish? He finds the finish instead. His 6th goal of the season. He has been an absolute star for us. Probably the best performer we've had so far in the series. Shashua has been really good as well, actually. That's probably not fair, but in terms of his conversion rate, the only person that looks like scoring at the moment is Harry Honesty. He maybe could have squared this one up for Tashan Richmond, but instead cuts inside on his right peg, beats the keeper near post, and we go a goal to the good in our big match today. And just like that, we jump up into 3rd position. If we can hold on here, we are going to be absolutely flying, and we have a game in hand on Guernsey and Whiteleaf, who are sitting in 2nd and 1st. Super important early doors to keep pace and not let anybody run away with it. Guernsey are currently drawing their match, and I think Whiteleaf are also currently drawing. They are with Pagham. So if either of them take a lead, they will extend their run a little bit further, their lead in the league a little bit further, but it is with a game in hand. Highlight here, it's going to be Humphrey to take the throw. To Hurst, inside to Shashua. Deep ball across towards Charlie Morley. He's hit the post and hit the deck, and Gideon gets it away. Humphrey should have it on, and then highlight just ends. I don't know what's going on with that in this episode. Highlights are just ending in the middle of probably the most exciting parts. So we're into the last 5 minutes of the half. We are handling everything pretty well so far. So none of their forwards have really good match ratings, and our defence has been doing okay. So I think we've just been on top. If we can get to half time, I think it's a pretty straightforward team talk about warning against complacency. We're going to keep our structure the same with that positive mentality, because I think it suits us the best. They've just had a decent shout come in, but we're pretty much at the end of the extra minute added on by the referee, and I don't think that body language carries into the second half. Half time from the ref. So super straightforward here. We're just going to go into the dressing room. 8 shots, 3 on target, 57% of the ball. They've had 5 shots, 3 on target, 43%. Assertively, we've got to guard against complacent now. I don't think the job is done. Everybody has responded really positively to that. If we can get through 45 minutes or at least 15 minutes, we'll look at subs and then we'll go from there. Alright, so second half is underway here, and this is, I know we're still early in Season 3, but this is the most nervous I've felt at any point of Season 3 thus far. This will be absolutely huge if we can get a decent result here, particularly away from home. We've got a highlight here. Humphrey comes forward with Shashua. Crossfield switch towards Morley, who's onside. Can he square it up? Instead, he goes first. Oh, it's offside. It's been disallowed. The linesman didn't stop, so that one threw me for a second. So I wonder if the main official... It was a great crossfield switch from Shashua, who's really taken his game to another level in this season. But good to see. Good to see another highlight for us. Give it a couple more minutes, and then we're going to pause and have a look at some subs. Alright, so we're now gone now. We're going to bring on Ryan George for Farai Singano, Ricky Evans for Scott Pollock, and Tashan Richmond for Daniel Adji. They were all just on 6.7s. I know Tom Humphrey's not having a great game, but I don't have a left back option. We might actually have to start working Ross Gleed onto the bench so that we have the ability to change him if his form doesn't improve. Scott Pollock's responded in a positive manner. He seems motivated, which is great to see. We're going to hit play, and then we're also going to... we've got an immediate highlight here. Singano to take. before he goes off. Shashua towards Honesty. Ball hits the deck. It was a good save from White. And Charlie Morley with his first goal of the season. We need him to start picking up some form. We've gone 2-0 to the good. But a great response. And those changes should now come through. It might even ask if you want to proceed. It's a good play here. Shashua gets a good ball across. Harry Honesty with a great header. And Charlie Morley, the fox in the box, gets goal side in his man and taps that one home from 5 yards. All right. Yes, we want to still proceed with those tactical changes. Humphrey's picked up a tiny little bit just because of that passage of play. Shouts. Let's go with demand more because it's old reliable. It just consistently works for us. They've gotten some decent feedback, which they're fired up by. In other games, looks like Guernsey's taken a lead against Three Bridges and Whiteleaf is actually losing their match. Three Bridges have immediately equalised as soon as I've said that, so that's great for us. It means we can move back into top spot if we win our game in hand. Here we go, highlight again. Morley to take a deep free kick towards the centre of the area. It's come back to Goss here. It's a long ball forward. We should be able to tidy up through Humphrey without any dramas. He's put himself under pressure and now he's gone all the way back to Andy Cade-Watts. You got time, Andy, just keep the ball. Long one forward towards Daniel Adji. It's a good header won by Boiling. Goss now comes forward. Back to Aikido. Goss to Aikido again. Can he get the ball in? It's a deep one across towards Webster, and thankfully that header is just wide. It was good build-up play from them. But I think that if they don't get out early, if they don't get out as often as they can, as early as possible, their front three is going to struggle. They've actually moved to a 4-2-3-1. Lindsay to take a corner now. Deep one across. It hits the deck, and somehow it's pinballed around in there, and eventually it's fallen to Linton Goss for his third goal of the season. We just struggled to get that one out. It looks like Stamp missed an interception. It's going to be a nervy finish. It's hit Marcus Stamp, I think, in the back of the head and fallen to Ladera, who drew 2 really good saves out of Andy Cade-Watts, but he just didn't get any support from the other players around him to get that one away. So not great. Not great. Marcus Stamp immediately drops to a 6.3 rating after being on a 7.1. We are still winning, but my word, do I pit sweats going on at the moment trying to get the team through. Cade-Watts has been fantastic. Morley's been fantastic. Shashua and Honesty have both been fantastic. But Stamp and Humphrey have struggled quite a bit, and Akeem hasn't done too much to help either way. We've got 15 more minutes to try and get through the game here, get a decent result, and continue our pace in the promotion spots. Jamal Akeem's picked up a yellow card. They've had a shout that hasn't worked, disinterested after the feedback, so hopefully that's enough to get us through the last 10 minutes here. Alright, they've got a highlight here with a couple of new subs fresh on the pitch. Colbrand with the ball on the right. Deep one across to Ladera, and thankfully it's just wide. Or heart and mouth stuff there for a moment. You'd hate to see a header from the top of the box actually wiggle its way in the 90th minute. They've gotten some decent feedback. We've got 4 minutes added on by the referee. We've been the better side here. We're just shading most things statistically. Our match ratings are higher overall than theirs are. We just need to get through these last couple of minutes. Alright, we're into the last few seconds now. Surely, referee, you can blow the whistle whenever you feel like it. Shashua inside to Morley. Just keep the ball. Keep the ball. Don't do anything silly. Scott Pollock, we've got numbers here. We've got 4 here. Yes, the referee calls full time. The Harry Honesty show, I think it came up there at the end, comes to a close. Charlie Morley will get man of the match though. Fantastic performance. We really needed that victory and that 3 points there. 16 shots, 9 on target, 55% of the ball. 17 shots, 7 on target, 45% possession for them. They play a very aggressive attacking style, and we've done well to negate it quite a bit. Not the best defensive performance that we've ever seen, but at least we finally have our shooting boots on. Just going to passionately say, well done lads, that was a good win for us. It's a very, very big one. They were favourites to go up as champions this year. We've gone to their ground and beaten them, which makes me think there's pretty much any team we can beat in this division if we're good enough on the day. Alright, so that sees us bounce up into 3rd spot, which is great to see. 3 wins, 1 draw, 1 loss in our opening 5 games. We are a game in hand on Whiteleaf and Guernsey, who are above us. If we win that game, we should go above Guernsey on goal difference, so that'll be massive. Hashtag United edge out opponents in close encounter. Very, very true. They got closer to us in terms of shots and chances created than most teams usually do. Charlie Morley, absolutely fantastic with his goal. Let's tell him, superb in front of goal last time out. Let's see if he can kick on a bit now. It's his first for the season, but I'd love to see him getting back amongst goals and assists for the rest of the year. Looking at our schedule, I'm not sure when the next best game is to have. I think we'll close out the rest of the games that we have in September, so these 3 here. And then what we might do is come back and play the game against Horsham, who are currently sitting in 11th, and Pagham, who are currently sitting in 5th. So we'll play the games against Wingate and Finchley, who are in 13th, Sittingbourne, who are in 8th, and Shipstead in our FA Trophy extra preliminary round match off screen, as well as the game against Three Bridges, who are down the bottom. And then hopefully, if we get wins in those games, we'll come back in decent form against Horsham and Pagham and be looking to consolidate our place within the league itself, and hopefully in the FA Trophy as well. But the season is already flying through these early games. I hope you are enjoying the series so far. If you are, feel free to chuck a like on the video, or chuck any, even negative or positive feedback that you have in the comment section below. I do respond to every comment that I get. Subscribe to the channel if you want to be kept up to date on future videos, or you can follow @InTheMixer_FM on Twitter to be kept up to date on new videos once they're released. Go and check out our key collaborators in the comment section, not the comment section, in the description below. Go and check out #United's channel as well, of course. This wouldn't be happening if it wasn't for them. But more than anything, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys again in the mixer, and don't forget to hashtag it.